Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be doing the best case scenario for Donald Trump in the 2020 general election. Yesterday, I went through Biden's best case scenario, and today we're going to be going through Trump's. I don't even need to show the third party. Okay, so let's start with safe Democrat. California, New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, DC, Maryland, and Hawaii. So not many, but still a solid amount of 115. Safe Republican. It's pretty much going to be a lot. So, a lot of the usual too. So here we go. We have the Deep South here, Alabama, Tennessee, and then I'm also going to characterize these three, which I usually characterize as likely, as going to be safe for Trump. So now let's go to likely Biden. I probably won't spend as much time on the likelies as I will on the leans and tilts. Yeah, that's what it's called. So likely for Biden is going to be Washington, Illinois. We're going to go with Delaware. That is his home state. And I'm going to go with Rhode Island is also going to be likely for Joe Biden. And that's just basically how I usually do it. Maybe I'll give Biden New Jersey with likely, but that's honestly how I usually characterize likely Biden states. So now, with likely Trump states, it is going to be a lot of states that Trump won by a decent amount last election. So first off is going to be Texas. He's right now polling at about 4 or 5 points right now. In his best case scenario, he'll win by around 10, 12 points. That'll put him in the likely column. Also with Ohio and Iowa, he won those states by around 9, 10 points in 2016, and they could be characterized as likely for this election. Let's see. Maine 2nd Congressional District, same situation with Iowa and Ohio. Trump both won them by around 10 points. Maine 2nd, he actually won almost by 11 points, which was a shock to most people, especially winning by that many points. And finally, I think he'll win Georgia by a likely margin. You could argue lean with Georgia, but in a best case scenario, he'll probably end up winning 7, 8 points. Right now, he's polling at around 4 points. I know the RCP toss-up has him barely ahead, but I think that in his best case, he could win by around 8 points. So that is it for likely states with Trump, I think. So now, lean Democrat states, there's not going to be a ton of them, but let's get to it. I'm going to do, actually, I'll wait with Oregon. We're going to do New Jersey, and I'm going to leave Connecticut off for now. So, and Maine's 1st Congressional District are all going to be lean states for Biden this election. In Trump's best case scenario, I don't think New Jersey would go to the tilt column. You know what? I'll put Connecticut as a lean state as well. Yeah. So now I don't really need to explain much for that. Let's just go right to the lean Republican states, and that's going to be Florida and North Carolina. Trump won North Carolina by around 4 points, and Florida by around 1 point, maybe 1.2. North Carolina 3.7. In the end, they'll probably go in the best case scenario by a lean margin, 3, 4, 5 points for Trump. So, now with lean for Trump, I'll also go with Nebraska 2nd Congressional District. He won that by around 3 points in 2016. He could expand his lead a little bit, maybe win by 4 or 5, putting it in the lean column for him. Also, I'm going to say Nevada would go lean for him. He's doing all right in the polls right now. He does seem actually a bit confident with Nevada. However, it does tend to overestimate Republicans in the polling in these areas. But in the best case scenario, he'll win Nevada by a lean margin, as well as Pennsylvania. He'll win by a lean margin. Recent poll had him up by 2 points. There's been a lot of polls that have him up by Biden up by 7 or 8 points. I honestly don't think that that's accurate. He might not be up by 2 points in Pennsylvania at the moment, but in the best case scenario, say Biden's up by around 1 or 2 points right now in the polling data. Trump could turn that around and win by 2, 3 points in Pennsylvania. I characterize that as a lean margin. So now tilt blue is Oregon. Oregon's tilt blue. It's going to be hard for Trump to win Oregon. It has been trending red since the past elections. It's really gone down. Obama won it in 2008 by around 27 points. and then Clinton won it in 16 by around 10, and the recent governor had the Democrat governor winning it by 3 points. So it's been trending red, but it'll still stay in Joe Biden's column for Trump's best case scenario. I don't see it going blue. Also, I see Virginia tilting blue in a Biden best case scenario. I still don't see Trump getting Virginia. It used to be a really toss up state, just straight toss up. But this election, I mean, it's really gone from being a toss up state to being now lean likely Democrat, which is pretty crazy how much it shifted. It's got a complete two Democrat senators. Democrat Governor Clinton won it by a lot, by around 5 points. And polling data does suggest Biden's up by a decent amount. So now let's go with tilt. Michigan, Wisconsin will still tilt, and Minnesota will tilt blue. I mean, tilt red. I just didn't see them as a lean. Actually, you know what? I'll characterize Wisconsin as lean margin, but Michigan, Minnesota, Trump could tilt them blue. I mean, tilt them red. What am I saying? Some polls have it a bit closer in Minnesota, and New Trafalgar poll has Trump up 2 in Michigan. If that is true, that'll give him a lean tilt margin, giving him victories. So, obviously, in the best case scenario, he'll win the Rust Belt, along with New Hampshire and Maine at large. Maine at large, he will lost by around 2.9 or 3 points, and New Hampshire he lost by 0.3. He could tilt them red in the best case scenario. So now we're down to these 3 states. Arizona would tilt to Trump's column, as well as Colorado. Cory Gardner obviously won in 2014, so it's still winnable for Republicans, but the Democrats honestly would have to put up some bad candidates. Joe Biden obviously does have some faults to him. Trump could win it in his best case scenario. Clinton won it by around 4 points in 2016, so definitely is malleable, but right now I'll give it to Trump. And New Mexico, the final state, I'll have it tilt for Biden. Honestly, I was going to say it was tilt to Republicans, but it has shifted so much in the past few years. Since really after Bush in 04, that was the last time Republicans won it. And then it's been expanding ever since then. I know Gary Johnson ran in 2016, being the former governor, took votes away from Trump. He got like 9% of the vote, and more libertarians will show up for Trump this election. Still, in a best case scenario, I see it. You know what? I'll have it tilt red. But in a Trump best case scenario, I'll have it tilt red. So I changed my mind. But if the Gary Johnson support shows up, Biden's support's very low with enthusiasm. He could win New Mexico. That'll give him 342 electoral votes, less than Biden's. Biden got like 390 for his, but still really good for Trump. So let's take a look at it with the whole map. So a lot red, very red throughout the whole map, honestly. But Virginia stays. So that just shows you, honestly, how much Virginia's changed since it was a toss-up state. And it really was a toss-up state not that long ago, but, not anymore, especially since Republicans have lost some suburban voters. But Trump best case scenario, 342, 196, very red electoral map. That's honestly the best he could possibly do, or probably any Republican could do. I don't know any Republican that could win, maybe win Virginia in a best case scenario, and maybe Oregon, but that I just don't see that happening anymore. So 342, 196, Trump beats Biden. And that's how I see the best case scenario. So guys, thank you for watching. Thank you guys so much for 60 subscribers. I really appreciate it. It's really awesome. Hopefully we'll keep going up. That'll be really cool. And I really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much for watching. I obviously have some more videos. I'm going to release another Senate prediction later today. But this is my best case scenario for Trump. It'll be the last best case scenario for Trump and Biden that I'll be making. Anyway, at least for this election. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.